This week in post, adding a Twilight look to your photos with a very simple set of curves adjustments. Hi everyone, my name is Scott Davenport. Welcome to In Post. So this week's video is a little different. I'm not going to walk through all the processing steps of a particular photo, but instead share a very specific targeted technique. So a couple of days ago, I shared with you some footage from Bird Rock in San Diego, where I was hoping for a brilliant sunset. The clouds in the sky were nice, were interesting, but it didn't allow enough space for that sun to peek through and light up things. And you know, that happens, actually a lot. So what I'm gonna do is show you how to add a Twilight look to your photos. And I use this sometimes as like a visualization tool, like playing like a what if game, you know, what if things were like that. So, and it's very easy to do. You can do it right in Lightroom or anything that has curves adjustments. So let me show you how this works. To do a Twilight look, we wanna go into the tone curve panel in Lightroom. Now, if your curves layout looks like this, where you've got your curves controls, but you have regions and highlights, lights, dark shadows, we want to get rid of that. We want to control the individual color channels. So I'm going to click on this little icon down here and switch it over so I have channel controls. I have all the colors and then the red channel, green channel, and blue channel individually. Now for Twilight, we want to pop reds up and bring greens down. So for reds, I'm just going to click anywhere on the curve and just start pulling the point upwards. And for this image, since I have more shadow color than I do highlight color, it makes sense for me to adjust and bias my point down toward the shadowy area. And I'm just going to start bringing that up. And as I move upward on the curve, I'm watching the image. I'm getting a nice purple tone there. And I can also add other points to kind of rein back in highlights or shadows. And this all depends on the nature of your image. If you have more highlights, maybe you want to amplify those up. If you have more shadows, you want to play with those. That's an image by image basis. The point is you can click and you want to bring the reds up. And you can set as many points as you like. But generally, subtle touches is all that's needed. Now conversely, we're going to go to the green channel and we're going to pull the greens down. This is going to further amplify the reds and purples. Now I'm going to take it really far. I mean, this is getting really bad, really nuts. But let's go back to nominal and just a tiny tug, just a little bit more. And you can start to see that purple come in. Maybe that's even a little bit too much. Back it up a little bit. And you can see I'm kind of rocking my finger on the trackpad so I can just get these ever so slightly different touches. And that's it. That is a really tiny touch, but it adds a nice, a Twilight kind of feel to it. And now I'll just turn this off for 1 minute here. Turn it off and turn it on. And it's a world of difference, a very different feel to the photo. And it was only done with a tug down on green, a tug up on red. So it is that simple. There's two adjustments, right? Tweak the reds up a little bit in the upper half in the highlights area of your curves, and then pull the green channel down a little bit, and you'll get a very nice purplish tone to the image that adds that Twilight look. And this works with anything with curves. I showed you Lightroom. You can do it in Aperture. You can do it in Photoshop. You can do it in On1 with the tone enhancer. Anything that gives you a curves control where you can control red, blue, and green. So the tip of the week is if you don't get Twilight, you can add it in post with curves. Now, I mentioned I use this as somewhat of a what-if game, visualization tool, and sometimes I'll like the effect and include it in my final photo. But how much you want to work this into your photography, it really depends on where you fall on the spectrum of post-processing. How much are you willing to push pixels and bend color to create an image? So use it, don't use it, it's totally up to you and what you're comfortable with for your art. That is it for this week in post. Let me know if you like this quick targeted tip, or you prefer always seeing a walkthrough of the processing. I want to keep the videos engaging. I don't want them to fall into a rote pattern, but at the same time, I want to make sure that you all are getting the most out of these videos. So please, I really appreciate your feedback. Tell me what you like, tell me what you'd like to see, and tell me what you don't want to see anymore. And until next time, get out there with your camera, make some beautiful photos. Happy shooting.